One thing you need to remember is that your employer is not your enemy. Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Kate. This channel is all about people. We help employees and job seekers to understand different aspects related to human resource management and general career topics. So, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Before I even continue, I've come across people who will come and tell me they want to quit their job, but they do not want to serve their notice. So, by telling them to go ahead and quit without giving notice, is it a good idea or a bad idea? According to me, in my opinion, it's good to give notice. It's good to serve your notice period. Why am I saying this? Serving your notice, it's not only beneficial to the organization, but it will also be beneficial to you as an employee. The contract of employment can only be terminated by either the employer or the employee. This is according to Section 35 of the Employment Act of Kenya 2007. Notice should be given in writing according to the terms of the employment. The notice period will depend on the duration given on payment intervals according to what has been agreed in the employment contract. Some employees are required to give even more than 3 months notice, but this will depend on the position. It applies mostly to higher positions like chief executive officers, managing directors, head of departments, the higher positions in the organization. Section 35 of the Employment Act of Kenya 2007. It clearly states that a contract of service not being a contract to perform specific work without reference to time or to undertake a journey shall, if made to be performed in Kenya, be deemed to be a where the contract is to pay wages daily, a contract terminable by either party at the close of any day without notice. B, where the contract is to pay wages periodically at intervals or less than 1 month, a contract terminable by either party at the end of the period next following the giving of notice in writing. Or C, where the contract is to pay wages or salary periodically at intervals of or exceeding 1 month, a contract terminable by either party at the end of the period of 28 days next following the giving of notice in writing. And it goes ahead to say this: Section 1 shall not apply in the case of a contract of service whose terms provide for the giving of a period of notice of termination in writing greater than the period required by the provision of this subsection, which will otherwise be applicable thereto. So you remember we talked about giving notice of more than 3 months depending on the position. These are some of the things that you should know as an employee when it comes to termination of contract. So we have payment in lieu of notice, and this is clearly indicated in Section 36 of the Employment Act of Kenya 2007, which clearly states that either of the parties to a contract of service to which Section 35(5) applies may terminate the contract without notice upon payment to the other party of the remuneration which would have been earned by that other party or paid by him, as the case may be, in respect of the period of notice required to be given under the corresponding provisions of that section. As an employee, you can go ahead and pay the company the amount equivalent to what you could have been paid by the employer if you served the notice. Waiver of notice. To understand this, let us go ahead and read Section 38 of the Employment Act of Kenya, which states that where an employee gives notice of termination of employment and the employer waives the whole or any part of the notice, the employer shall pay to the employee remuneration equivalent to the period of notice not served by the employee, as the case may be, unless the employer and the employee agree otherwise. So that is the meaning of waiver of notice. For more information, you can go and refer to the Employment Act of Kenya, that is section 38. In addition to that, one of you sent me a question requesting for clarity whether they can use their leave days as part of notice period. And my response to this, yes, you can use your leave days as part of your notice period. So you have to give permission for an employer to go ahead and use your leave days as part of your notice period. Leave days must always be taken voluntarily. If you choose to use or utilize your leave days as part of the notice period, please ensure that you do a proper handover. Make sure you clear all the pending work. And if maybe you'll not be in a position to clear all the pending works, just make sure that you hand over everything in a respectful way. Leave the organization in good terms. Don't burn bridges. Just leave your job like a pro. That is just my opinion and my views and what exactly is indicated on the Employment Act of Kenya. If you have a contrary opinion, a contrary view in regards to termination, please go ahead and let me know on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to familiarize yourself with the Employment Act of Kenya because it's there to protect you and to protect the employer. Always remember that we need each other and people matter. See you on my next video. Bye.